All right, why I'm not big on Roth conversions right now. I want to share with you an example that happened in the late 1990s. And this is the exact reason I'm not big on them. I know given that I had written a book on Roth, you think I would be huge on them. I'm just not, man. So I'm going to share with you something. I'll never forget, I had a client once, and he worked at a Huntsville, I think, Alabama, and he was in healthcare. And I said, man, you got to do some Roth conversions. He goes, I'm never doing it again. And I said, why? Don't you see the benefit? He goes, man, because I got smoked in the 2000s when I did all my Roth conversions. And basically the story was something like this. Hit it! He went, oops, my thing's stuck. He basically had $100,000, and I'm just literally, this is a rough scenario of this guy, is what happened to this guy. In 1995, he had $100,000 in his IRA. We'll just use that for an example. All right, all invested in large cap growth stocks. We'll say like the U.S. growth from Vanguard. All right. Let me just turn that over a little bit. There you go. I don't want to get the window thing. All right. Anyway, so 1995, he was putting in is through his employer. So we're just going to say he's putting in $10,000 a year. That's his payment. By the way, this right here is going to be called your present value if you have a trusty calculator like I do. So this is present value. All right, he's putting $10,000 a year as his payment. He had 5 years, or N, as your calculator will say, and he averaged, it turned out, roughly 25% a year. That's your I. He's climbing under my legs. Finny. All right, so $100,000 is our present value. $10,000 is our payment. 5 years at 25% interest is basically what he's making. He ended up with $387,000. And that's called the future value. All right, $387,000 is the future value. All right, so if he starts converting right here, all right, so just for simplicity, what happened the next 3 years? Well, in these large cap growth stocks, they fell 74%. So we take 387, I think you might start hearing the dogs because we have somebody coming over, minus 74%, that's down back to $100,000, all right? That was back to $100,000 after 3 years. Future value, 3 years, $100,000. But that's not what he had worth because he was paying taxes on this money he converted. And at 387, even if we do it over 4 years like the government allowed you to do back then, that's basically $90,000 a year. I'll leave dude on this side. Good boy. I got to walk around my dogs because apparently they own this house. So that's 387. That's basically $90,000 a year of taxable income. And if you're in a 25% tax bracket, what's that? $22,500 a year of taxes times 4. That's That's $90,000, right? 22,000. Yeah, it's $90,000 because that's a 25% tax bracket at 25%. $90,000 you got to pay in taxes. All right, so now not only is your 387, we'll just say for simplicity, down to $300,000 after taxes. Now you lost 74%. So now after taxes and the decline, you are down to $300,000 minus 74%, $78,000, man. You're not going to see that, so let me write that. Right here, $74,000. All right, so you were here, and now you're here, and you have your value is worth less than the taxes you paid. Now that's with a 4 year that you can convert that money. All right, so you can still essentially do it over 4 years. You say I'm not going to convert all at once. I'm going to convert in 4 years' time. All right. Are we any that much further off than where we were in 1999 for large cap growth stocks in particularly? But even the S&P 500, man. It's heavy on growth stocks, heavy momentum. Even BTV, the value stuff, it's not like it didn't make any money the last 10 years. It just didn't keep up with growth. Point being is, if you were to convert in a market decline, you're paying taxes today on money that might not be there 3 years from now. I mean, you're literally, in this case, you paid more in taxes than his portfolio is worth after 3 years or 4 years. And so $74,000 to get back up to $387. Let's take our trusty calculator. $74,000 is our present value. $387 is our future value. We're not putting any more money in. And we're going to do it, let's see, in 10 years' time. We'd have to get 18% a year in 10 years' time just to get back to here. You're not getting 18% a year, man. 15 years' time, you'd have to get 11.66 just to get back to where you were. That's not a beneficial thing. You don't want to convert when the markets are high. You just don't. So I hope this helps. This is why right now I'm hesitant to tell people to do Roth conversions. Like, these markets are high. It doesn't mean they can't go up. I think you got to look at the risk reward. What's the reward? Well, the reward is I get more tax-free growth if the markets keep going up. Yes, but what's the risk? The risk is that markets could take a decline. I end up with less money in my portfolio than the taxes I paid. And I don't think that's a worthwhile bet to make. Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks now.